Oh, was I falling? Okay. Hi! Uh, oh, wow, that was really peppy. Um, I'm multiplayer. Uh, I got home from work like 2 hours ago. Wow, I have a lot of cobble. Um, got home from work like 2 hours ago. I helped Shiro edit a video. Um, and then I can't put it down, man. I want to work on this. So, and I also have a plan. Last time I wasn't sure how I was going to. Well, that broke immediately. Last time I wasn't sure how I was going to go about expanding upwards because I want to use the cave itself, or not the cave, the mountain itself as my guide for how the inside will look. Um, so on this level I've just been mining until I hit the outside and then leaving one block between like me and the outside wall. I think this andesite is the outside. Yeah, it is. Okay. But as I go up, that's gonna get harder, so I figured what I could do is once I finish this bottom layer where I've hollowed out everything that I want to, I can then go on and can then do this in like floors, right? So I can make a pillar like right in the middle here, and um I think I'll have to decide whether I'm going to expand out into this. Like, if you can see it, like, there's more mountain over there. I'm gonna have to decide if I'm going to expand out past this. Probably, because I don't think this is big enough for what I want. And then, once I finish this, you know, quote-unquote floor, I move on to the next one. I'm just hollowing out as I go. I think it should work, and it should be a little safer than me trying to, trapeze around the whole thing without any help, because we all know how well I deal with falling damage. This is gonna be a really repetitive one, I think, but I think the payoff will be good. I am eventually going to go down. Whether it's to make a down floor or not, I'm not sure, because I don't know how far down I want to go. I think I'll find out in a bit. If I do, I'm probably going to do that other section on the other side of that wall. And I think I'll have that go down. You know? I'll have that like slope down, like this is like just the opening area. And I'll plan to have that. Let me stick a torch up there. There we go. I'll plan to have that as like this area is sort of like a prelude, if you will. A prelude? I don't know how to say things. I read instead of talking to people as a kid. Alright, if I can stop getting distracted every 10 seconds. I mean, not likely, but I'm sure you could hope. It won't get you anywhere, but you can hope. I really love, that's the thing, I really love like organic designs. I can't wrap my head around modern stuff, largely because I have just lived in not cities my entire life. I can count the number of times I have been in a city large enough to count as a city to other to like, okay, I back up so that I stop stuttering. I Michigan has a lot of small towns, and a lot of the quote unquote cities would count as towns for most people, for most other places. I like there's several like cities nearby here that are, you know, they're still only like maybe 10 miles across, and I come from even smaller. I think actually my hometown counts as a hamlet? I can't remember. And the town I'm currently in is technically a village because it's too small to count as a town. Just to give you an idea of like how how hick we're talking here. Okay? So I struggle with that modern stuff just because it's like it's not what I see around here. Plus like cities are terrifying. I I know that this is very niche, but like I've been to Detroit. I've been to Detroit and I've been to Cincinnati. Each like about 3 or 4 times in my whole life. They're frankly terrifying. Just the scale. The absolute scale. Okay, there's nothing in my town besides a grain mill that is larger than 2 stories. Okay? Like, there's no 3-story houses. There's no, like, 3-story buildings. Everything is 2-story or 1-story. The tallest thing around is the silo that, that the grain company uses to fill up the fucking train. Okay? When I went to Detroit, well, I guess the only time I stayed in Detroit was unfortunately when, my dad was in the hospital before he passed away. So, you know, sorry about that. This is just the story that I have. So we had a hotel room, and we had like a 6th floor hotel room, okay? Which is fine. That's okay. That's not the part that's terrifying to me. So, you know, my town is small. There's not a lot of street lights. You could walk from one end to the other in my town, in about, you know, maybe an hour if you decide to really meander. It's not very big. So, like, there's not a lot of light pollution. So, most nights you can see the sky as long as it's not cloudy, right? In Detroit, when we were staying in that sixth story hotel room, I couldn't see the sky. And I don't know how to explain to you how unsettling that was. But, like, I imagine it's similar to, like, a lot of people's, like, uncanny valley feelings when it comes to, like, farms and farm equipment and that kind of thing. It feels so unnatural. And, oh, it feels so wrong that I couldn't look up at the sky. I couldn't see the sky. I just saw more building and then, like, light. And that was it. It was the worst feeling in the world. Like, it was genuinely just not a good time for me. I mean, well, because of everything else that was happening, but also just because, like, that was so... Oh. It's, like, kind of haunting, you know? I love this guy. Like, that's such a... Let me elaborate. I find a lot of peace in looking up at the sky, you know? Like sunsets and sunrises and all that. I like sitting under the moon when I can't sleep, you know? That sort of thing. I'm that kind of person. So, not being able to see the sky, oh, it was just, it felt so alien. This is specifically, like, going to be the thing that's like, they're weird. No. But, oh, it makes me shudder, man. It's like, it's on par with me with, like, so, like, I know that there's a lot of, like, farm horror, but, like, as a kid, when you live out here, it is also just, like, drilled into your head that you just don't go out to the cornfields. And there's a very good reason for this. As soon as you get into the middle of that cornfield, you have no indication. As soon as you get, like, actually, it's more like a couple of rows deep. Good luck after a couple of rows, because you'll be lost. Fully and absolutely. It doesn't matter how well prepared you were when you got in. It doesn't matter at all. I'm just gonna sleep real quick. Because as soon as you get into that cornfield, as soon as you've lost sight of the first row of corn, you're lost. Unless you have a compass. So, like, I guess it's sort of like that. Like, there are legitimate reasons to be afraid of, like, farm stuff. It's everything you're taught as a kid to not do. Like, you don't go into the cornfield at night. You don't go to the cornfield during the day. You just don't go in the cornfield. I think I'm going to cover most of this with smooth stone. I should probably start cooking it now, honestly. But yeah, I enjoy that kind of style. I enjoy making, like, little, I guess, landscapes, almost? Little vistas? I don't know. I'm not trying to be deep here. It's midnight. It's midnight and I plan to be up until 4. I actually, like, successfully had a nap today. I don't think I've ever successfully had a nap in my life. Usually if I do manage to sleep, I wake up feeling like hot garbage. I clean a clinic as my job, right? So I go in after hours or just before they close, and it's my job to clean up, to clean everything for the next day. And well, because I don't like have to actually talk to anyone or socialize at all. I love it. I will generally just take a pair of headphones and listen to, like, YouTube. Usually it's music, or like past live streams. Today it was the song Saint Bernard over and over. Don't read too much into it. My point was did I have one? Yeah. My point was is that so I'm listening to music while I'm doing my job. Didn't get to my phone fast enough to skip an ad, right? And I think it was for like the Google Pixel or something. But like, have you ever listened to an ad and you can hear the 20-something who tried to save it just crying? Like, there were so many buzzwords in this ad that made no sense that I just felt bad for whoever it was that's like suggested them and then tried to script it, and then whoever like was their superior went, nah, we'll just toss them in there like this and it'll sound perfectly natural. You could just I feel like that person's in pain. I'm in pain. There's like something about like an inclusive camera, and I'm like, I don't understand what that means. I have no idea what that means. Is that even a coherent sentence? I'm not sure how a camera could be inclusive. Does it use my pronouns? Does it hate misgendering me? That would be great. Imagine trying desperately to advertise to my generation. The Gen Z / late millennial generation. Can you just imagine attempting to pick our brains and be like, what do they want? Today I laughed at someone calling a hare a bird. This is the kind of humor that we have. Every time that video of how to make a fresh meme in 2020 comes up, I laugh uncontrollably. Can you imagine having to be the like 28-year-old working in advertising right now? I have a note that says things I've said. And one of them is suck my Yankee Doodle dick. I'm 24. And that's the only thing in the note, also. Just by the way. Oh wait, no. I also have put in here, I don't know what it says about me as a person that my dream animal would be a bumblebee large enough to cuddle. I apparently also said that. I'm trying to have a better attitude this time, because like the very first hardcore world, I was kind of like terrified the entire time. that I was going to die, I knew I knew that I would end up dying, right? Like I know that I'll end up dying eventually in this save. It might be a little easier not to, just because I'm in a cave that I made that is well lit. But I know it's going to happen eventually. But I think I'm like more at peace with it now. I've accepted it. I've transcended. I've kind of accepted it more this time, where it's like, yeah, eventually I'm going to die and I'm not going to be able to play in this world anymore. But like in my last world, stop timer. In my last world, I was just terrified about it the whole time, and this time I think I'm kind of more chill with it. Like it won't. I think that it will hurt me when it happens, but I don't like expect to die at every moment, and I think that's helping. This is a good start though, I think. This is like what, 3 hours of work total? And we have all this done already? Let me know in the comments actually if you think if you prefer 1.8 or if you prefer like all of the newer versions of Minecraft, because 1.8 I think is the one I'm most comfortable with, probably. And I can't really remember. I'll have to go through and like figure that out eventually. I think 1.8 is the one I'm thinking of, that I'm pretty comfortable in. I want to know what your favorite version is, or if you just like all the new stuff, which is entirely fair. I like all the new stuff. They're getting frogs soon. I'm so excited for the frogs. So I'm gonna shut my mouth. It's 1 a.m. I need to, well, I'm not going to end up going to bed, but I need to lie to myself and pretend that that's what's going to happen. So have a lovely day, have a lovely night. Take your meds, drink your water, and I'll see you next time. Bye.